Okay. So, good afternoon to all. I, Dr. Vivek Asati, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, on behalf of ISF College of Pharmacy, Moga, Punjab. Welcome to respected Dr. G.D. Gupta, sir, Director cum Principal, IFCP, Moga, Dr. R.K. Narang, sir, Vice Principal, faculty members, and dear students. So, today we have a lecture in IFCP dialogue series on emerging trend in antibiotic resistance. So this is our privilege that we have a renowned, knowledgeable speaker, Dr. Ajay Singh Kushwah, sir, with us. So Dr. Ajay Singh Kushwah is a highly qualified and accomplished professional with extensive experience in the field of pharmacology. Holding a PhD degree in pharmacy, he currently serves as the head of the Department of Pharmacology at the esteemed Amar Shaheed Baba Ajit Singh Jujhar Singh Memorial College of Pharmacy in BELA, Ropar, Punjab. With over 17 years of teaching experience and 14 years dedicated to research, Dr. Kushwaha has made substantial contributions to academia. He has mentored numerous students, successfully 36 postgraduates and 2 doctoral candidates in their research projects. Dr. Kushwaha research interests are broad and encompass critical areas of cardiovascular research, including cardiotoxicity, arrhythmia, ischemia, atherosclerosis, and endothelial dysfunction. In the realm of endocrine research, he delves into metabolic disorders, insulin resistance, diabetes, and its complications. His dedication and expertise have been recognized with notable achievements such as securing an AICT Modro project grant of 11.16 lakhs in 2020. Dr. Kushwaha also served as a convener for a DST East project, which received a substantial grant of this 95 lakhs in 2022. His role as panel of expert for designing laboratories at Sri Guru Gobind Singh Skill Institute, Sri Tamkor Sahib, further underscores his commitment to achieving research and education in the field of pharmacology. Dr. Ajay Singh Kushwaha contributions are invaluable to the field and academia. So I request to Dr. G.D. Gupta, sir, if you want to say a few words, please interact.
So thank you very much, Dr. Vivek Asati ji. So first of all, I welcome today's speaker and guest, Dr. A.S. Kushwah ji.
Thank you very
And
much, sir.
as you know that this is the one of the ISF dialogue series, the purpose behind of this one to provide the quality of the information as well as the education to the person, those who are the stay remote area and want to connect with the people. So this is the good opportunity to each and everybody. I know that ISF College of Pharmacy as well as the Amar Saeed Babaji Singh Jujhar Singh Memorial College of Pharmacy, one of the renowned institute of the Punjab, and we have also MOU. So this lecture we are going to organize under the category of the joints of the activity ISF College of Pharmacy as well as College of Pharmacy Vela, so that we can exchange our views, exchange our ideas as well as the some of the content, so that student they will be the benefited. And we also upload the whole of the program YouTube on the YouTube channel, so any person can we take the benefit under this category. And time limit we have the wound it accordingly. So all these ISF dialogue series running by the IQAC of ISF College of Pharmacy. So again, I am thankful to the Dr. A.S. Kushwaji for providing this opportunity to interact with you, and thankful Dr. Vivek Asati to provide this platform to just give the introduction, introduce and welcome our today's expert. So without taking time, thank you very much, and I hope that this lecture it will be the very helpful to the each and everybody. And in the coming days, this topic will be the concern people they can be connect, and we have not provided any opportunity to student direct to live to ask the question, but obviously the person those who want to ask the question, I will provide the opportunity, he will interact and send their question under the YouTube channel, and our team will provide the answer. If we are the unable to give the answer, we can connect to the again to the expert, so that we can provide the purify and the important knowledge to the audience as well the person those who want to connect with this ISFCP dialogue series. So thank you very much, and over to Dr. Vivek Asati.
So thank you very much, sir, for giving precious words for us. And now I request to sir, kindly deliver your topic, emerging trends and antibiotic resistance. So I would like to call Dr. Kushwah, sir. Please start your lecture.
Thank you very much, sir, for
So, sir,
providing.
if you have slides, you can share.
Yes, sir. हेलो
Yes, sir.
सर इसमें शेयर ऑप्शन नहीं आ रहा है सर.
Present now, आ रहा ना? Present now. एक मिनट.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, sir. Sir, please start.
Yes. Good afternoon to present one and all here. First, I thank you very much to Dr. D.D. Gupta, sir, Director of ISF College of Pharmacy, BELA, and convener of these programs, Dr. Vivek Asati, sir. I am very thankful to provide of this opportunity for the deliver lectures. Today, I am my lectures in focus on emerging trends in antibiotic resistance, understanding the mechanism and strategy for the mitigations. We have to know in that concerning of era, that concerning time, the drug resistance of antibiotic, it is a very challenging and it is a very emergency conditions in a coming of conditions of the time also. The introductions of this topic, we have to understand what is the antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance refer to the ability of the bacteria, viruses, and other microorganisms without the effect of antibiotic drugs. It means the drugs they have to not affecting and not produce these effect and they not to cure. In essence, it means the medications once effective in the treating infections become less or entirely ineffective against the certain of strains like a bacteria or pathogens. We have to summarize of history of antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic development in a 100 years of ago, we have to discuss about discovery of antibiotic in the year of 1920 to 1940, discovered by the Alexander Fleming first antibiotic in a year of 1928. That is the antibiotic era have begins with the first discovery of penicillins and streptomycins in during of year of 1914. Early instance of resistance that have to reported in year of 1940 in year of 1950 within a few years of the introduction of the these antibiotic resistance will reported the first in a case of penicillin in year of 1914 and widespread of antibiotic uses in a year of 1915 that become widely used both medications, medical field, agriculture purpose, and including the growth of prompt in the livestock. And methicillin resistance, that is Staphylococcus aureus, in reported in year of 1960, that is the becomes of multiple antibiotic resistance including of methicillin. This is the another type of resistance in marked a significant and milestone of development of multi-drug resistance bacteria. Extended of streptum of, that is the beta lactam antibiotic, that is the produced by the beta lactam resistance, and broad range of antibiotic becomes a concern in the healthcare setting also. After that, fluoroquinolone resistance is reported in year of 1990 to in year of 2000. That is the resistance of fluoroquinolone antibiotics, commonly used widely range of infections, increasing of among variety of various bacteria. That is the global spread of resistance bacteria in a study in year of 2000s. And present now we have to face of this global resistance of bacteria in respect of various antibiotic, like in respect of pneumonia pathogens, Klebsiella infections. They have to worldwide of spread in respect of antibiotic resistance. The status of current status of antibiotic, then what is the status in respect of the resistance? We have to see in a broad area, that is the become a beta lactams. They have to find a resistance of most of spectra also, and very few that have to comes of newer antibiotic, like tetracycline, trimethoprim, and other antibiotic also they have to comprise. This is the challengings, and this is the alarming of the right utilizations and responsible use of antibiotic. They have to uh, for the betterments and better therapeutic of consequences to achieve of goal, to some consequences, some impact of antibiotic resistance. They have to in a forming of various aspects, like public health concerns. If antibiotic resistance become, and they have to impacting of public health in concern of antibiotic resistance, then is the antibiotic to common infections become life threatening, leading to longer of hospitalizations, stay in the increase of healthcare of cost also, and high risk of mortality. That is the public health concern have to impact of antibiotic resistance. Another is the reduce of treatment options. If a persons have resistance and to various of drugs, they have to no choice, yeah, have a few choice to the resistance of that case of also. uh, this can result in the need of the use of more powerful and potential more toxic drugs, which can be have adverse effect on a patient also. They have to shift to the reserve drugs, and very toxic drugs they have to come. We have to observe of this indications in case of multi-drug resistance in tuberculosis. Then we have to shift to the newer drugs and recent drugs, the primary treatments and secondary treatments, and come to the tertiary or newer drugs. We also know that the newer drugs they have introduced in tuberculosis therapy, this is the also have a prominent toxicity compared that of the primary utilizations. Another is the impact to prolong of illness. They have to unable to cure in specific of time cures, and this is also increase chances of complications and risk of the transmission of other also. Increase of mortality, another incidence in, if not a cure of disease, they have to chance to shift to the mortality ratio than vulnerable population, such as the early, young children and individuals with the comprise of immune system also. And another is the economic burdens, economic impact. That is the antibiotic resistance increase the healthcare cost due to the longer hospital stay.
Sir,
They have
Ajay sir,
becomes. Yes, sir.
Ajay sir, your slide is not changing.
अभी स्लाइड में सर इम्पैक्ट ऑफ एंटीबायोटिक नहीं दिख रहा सर, अभी क्या दिख रहा है सर?
नहीं नहीं, वो फर्स्ट ही स्लाइड है.
ओके ओके सर. अब देखिए सर. हेलो,
आप फिर से शेयर करिए.
ठीक है सर. दिस इज ओके सर. हेलो,
अब चेंज करिए सर. हाँ, अब हो
हाँ जी.
रही है.
जी
अब
जी
चेंज हो
जी
रहा है.
जी सर, जी सर. Impact of antibiotic resistance. We have to current now discuss this one also. The economic impact they have to concern about the prolongations of medications cure and longer hospitalization stay, and it become of needed for the more extensive of medications and the potential for the extensive treatment for the complications. Another is the loss of antibiotic. Another is impact of the antibiotic resistance. These drugs have completely to excluded of the healthcare systems. This is the loss of antibiotic resistance to grow up the risk of and losing of effectiveness of our existing antibiotic, including of those consider of last restores of treatments. This can be leave without of adequate tool combat of serve of infections. Global concern impact we have to discuss about. Antibiotic resistance is a global issue. Resistance bacteria can travel across of backgrounds, making it a shared of concern to countries worldwide. And this is the spread to all over and increasing of cooperative crucial of combat of great effectiveness also. Another impact in manners of agriculture and environmental impact. The overuse of antibiotic in field of agriculture contributed to resistance and can lead to the spread of resistance bacteria through the food chain and water system. That is the impact of both in manner of environmental and human health also. And chronic considerations we have to attend of antibiotic resistance effect not only in the treatment of acute infections, but it have to manage to the chronic conditions like tuberculosis, HIV infections, and where the antibiotics are essential to the compose of the care also. This is the impact of the globally, and we have to data also seen also global impact respect the anti AMR resistance that have to antimicrobial resistant to depth in year of globally that have to set also, and they have to loss of the these amount of trillion amounts they have to manage or to compensate of this impact also. The molecular mechanism and they have to mentions about the antimicrobial resistance. But first one, the genetic mutations like rifampicins and mycobacterium tuberculosis, they have to modified of the mutations in the specific gene and reduce of rifampicin binding RNA polymerase site, that is the specific of targetings, and horizontal of gene transfers, that have to transfer of gene in one species to another species, like examples of E. coli, and these mechanisms of acquiring of external of spectrums like a beta lactams and gene by the plasmid. This is the transformations of gene one species to another species. Another is efflux pump systems. Efflux some pump system, they have to work in against of the carriers of the drugs. They have to influx of the in outward to inwards, and they have to modulate of this system also, that have to resulting to the concentrations of these drugs, and that target they have to decline also. The examples in related of Pseudomonas aeruginosa and in respect of ciprofloxacin, they have to overexpression of efflux pump like max AB, OPRO, and pump out of the ciprofloxacin also. Another mechanism, they have to modifications of targeting site. Modification of targeting site in respect of beta lactams, they have to indications of multi-drug resistance. They have to alter penicillin binding proteins. This is the specific binding sites, and it is reduce of beta lactam binding. Antibiotic inactivations. Antibiotic inactivations, another mechanism, they have to modulate of the specific of structuralizations of the antibiotic by the different antibiotic inactivations of system like a beta lactamase enzyme. This is the presence in a beta lactam uh, against of penicillin. They have to cleave off beta lactam rings, and the drug already and ineffective also. Another is the biofilm formations. In this is the examples in a pseudomonas and biofilm and tobramycin against, and it is the mechanism of biofilm protect of bacteria from the tobramycins, and to penetrate of these drugs in respect of the target also. Another consequence to persist, and persist conditions, that have two indications of cell bacterial cell modified of inactivity, and they have to uh, come to the inactive conditions also. In this is the examples in case of tuberculosis, isoniazid resistance, that also to potentiated by this mechanism. Persist cell survival isoniazid treatment in tuberculosis also indicated by this mechanism. Antibiotics are essential to treating of bacterial infections, but they are used can disrupt of uh, got a microbiota that have to also consequence of the another mechanism of antibiotic effect, that gut microbiome and associated with the health problems. This is the another consequence and related to the disturbances of the gut and this is the consequence of the potential of antibiotic. The gut bacteria that is presence and beneficially, and it is the to make a immunity functionalizations also. Then we have to utilizations of in proper or broad spectrum antibiotic. This is the potential loss of complications by the lower expression of antibacteria and immunoglobulin G, also decreasing of neutrophils and mediated of killing also. They have to increasing of susceptibility of infections. This is the another chances of the modulations. Another mechanism that have two indications, disruptions of uh, the balancing of this inflammatory tones also, that have to comprise of immune or homeostasis conditions. This is the imbalancing in between of immune response also. Another are that have to essential to resistance bacteria, transfer of resistant gene to the pathogen also. This is the also consequence in cases of infections of bacteria. They have to accumulating of antibiotic resistance. Another consequence, another mechanism that have to elevated inflammatory tones by the altering of insulin sensitivity, altering of metabolism, and affecting of bile acid also. This is also indications of obesity, metabolism, and syndromes and diabetes also. They have to modulated by the over utilizations of use of the medications in respect of the antimicrobial treatments. Another consequence, we have two factors to contribute of antibiotic resistance. They have overuse of misuse of antibiotic, and this have two prominent of conditions to antibiotic resistance is a complex problem with the multiple of contributing of factors. Like understanding these factors essential in developing of strategy mitigate of antibiotic resistance, and here some of the key factors of contributing to the antibiotic resistance. Overall misuse of antibiotic, that have excessive use of antibiotic either of inappropriately and prescribed or taken by the patients for the non-bacterial infections can lead to the development of the resistance. This is the overuse put of selective pressures of bacteria and to favoring of survival and proliferation of resistant strain also. So this is the indications. Another is incomplete treatments. This is another have to facing of multi-drug resistance in case of tuberculosis resistance. We have this observations of factor in contribution resistance, not completing the full courses and taking a patient to antibiotic prescribed can allow to bacteria to survive and develop resistance. Another consequences, and when patient stop taking up antibiotic and prematurely the surviving of bacteria are often to the more resistance once they have to develop also. This is the another consequence to factors they have to develop of resistance. Another uh, found of use in agricultures, antibiotic use in agricultures in various manners. This is also utilizations as a promote of growth, prevent of disease, and these use antibiotic for the food and animals can contribute to the emergence of the resistance bacteria, then can be transmitted to the food chains. And it is also utilized as a manners for the preservations of food. This is also consequence and transmitted of resistance strains. This is the another of mechanism that have to contribute to resistance. Resistance bacteria can spread within the healthcare of settings, communities, and globally of making the difficulty to containing of overbreaks. Factors such as poor infections, control, and practice and international of travel contributed to transmissions of resistance to one places to another place. Another is horizontal of gene transfer, that is the cross contaminations of bacterial strains to one strains to another strains. Bacteria can acquire resistant gene from other bacteria through the mechanism like plasma transfer, transposomes, and horizontal gene transfers. This is the rapid exchange to genetic materials can accelerate the spread of resistance. Another consequence, lack of new antibiotic. This is also challenging in case of we have to know in proper antibiotic in respect of drug resistant infections. The lack of financial inactivities for the pharmaceutical companies to invest the antibiotic resistance and developing it's a contributing of the factor. This is also a burden of to uh, develop of new antibiotic. This is the economic burdens of nations and economic also. Another concern is environmental factors. Antibiotic reduce and resistance of bacteria in the environmental due to the agricultures and round of the impose of the disposals of pharmaceutical can lead the developments and spread of resistance to environment, and it is the wildlife also. This is the involvement of antibiotic in ecosystems by the food chains and another ecosystems also improper of dispose of, improper of utilizations, improper of the utilizations, and to proper not or dispose of conditions also. This is the effect of the sea animal also, wild animal also, and this have to come in the human food chain also, and they have to infect it indirectly, and to spread up these resistance. And another is underlying health conditions. The patients of have to people with the compromising of immune systems, chronic illness conditions, conditions of the necessities of the frequent of antibiotic use, and more susceptible of antibiotic resistant of infections. This is the another of drawback of utilizations, more utilizations or improper utilizations of the antibiotic. Another concerns have to lack of diagnostic tools. If a diagnosis of impropers and not proper to specific or identification of which type of pathogens have involved, then doctors have to prescribe of broad type of antibiotics. This is also alarming of contributing factors in resistance also. Patients have a healthcare of provide educators, lack of awareness, and proper medication systems without of any awareness, any healthcare systems that have to responsible like pharmacist, healthcare persons, they have to provide better informations in inappropriate of availability of these persons. They have to lead to the inappropriate prescribings and taking of medications on the basis of the self medications. Antibiotics and productions and dispose of, this is the another challenging, another main root causes. Improper disposal, antibiotic and antibiotic manufacturing waste also can contribute to lead the antibiotic in environments, further accelerating resistant development. And addressing of antibiotic resistance require multifaceted of approaches that involve of responsible antibiotic use and surveillance of infections control measures, and the development of new antibiotic. It is also necessity of cooperations of local, national, and international level to combat of the global health concern also. They have to overcome of the antibiotic resistance. This is the major concerning key factors we have to manage of these, and we have to overcome of this conditioning also. Another is antibiotic resistance strategy of mitigations. This is the another important concerns. How to mitigate, how to minimize of this one also. Mitigations that have to by the prescribings. This is the also first link also. They have to provide of medications to the community also. So they have to concern of guidelines also, and also need as per the need, and diagnostic to focus also, diagnostic also, antimicrobial susceptibility test also, cycling, mixings, hygiene, hand washings, disinfections, also evaluate of pharmacokinetic, pharmacodynamic, minimum unitary concentrations, microbiota examination also to check a host immunity and clinical responsibility. This is the first line of the to overcome, to mitigate of the insulin that of to resistance of antibiotic by the manners of prescriber also, to uh, first chain by the doctor also. Second one is the pharmacist. They are also to check in proper of a medication, in proper prescription also. Second of line that up to in farming conditions. This is also first mode of the educational to educate of guidelines, limiting of medications, impotency, antibiotic utilization limiting also, animal specific antibiotic they have to utilize this, not in general utilizations, to promote of vaccinations to cure of the these animal utilizations of multi recurrence and day by day utilizations of antibiotic. They propose medications of in prevention of vaccinations and probiotic utilizations, bacteriostatics and antimicrobial peptides, another approach, and utilize of bacteriophage for maintenance of hygienes. This is the farmers in respect of dairy farming, in respect of poultry farming, in respect of the agriculture farming. This is the another channels to mitigate manage of the improper utilizations or resistance of the antibiotic. Another is the public in public also to followings of prescriptions to avoidance of the self medications, only utilize of medications on the in respect of the prescriptions. Then another is the public service of advisory for regardings of the in medical stores, medical distributions, the without a prescriptions of these medications not to sale of any person also, to promote and good health hygienic conditions and self cleaning self of good conditioning, they have to treating and they have to less of prominent to the infection also, symptomatic treatments also to promote. This is the another conditions. Another of politically how overcome and making a strategy and policy to mitigations of the antibiotic resistance, to establish of antibiotic resistance and related law for use prescriptions and ineffective medications that have to segregations of Ministry of Health Science also, and financial support also to develop of newer drugs like antibiotics, development of the pharmaceuticals and companies also, to tax beneficials of the pharmaceutical companies to promote of newer medications, simplifications of the clinical trials and requirement also. This is also have regulatory concern. They have to promote of newer medication also. Another to field of researchers. Researcher also to serve a crucial role to mitigating and developing of new drugs also in respect of the resistance, monitorings of antibiotic resistance and what is the mechanism find out also, and to approaching of newer approach how to combat of this mechanism also. We have seen also okay medications used in a combinations. This is another approach to how to overcome of the resistance and delay of resistance also. This is also indications of research part, identifications of new drugs targets and existing drugs also to purpose to medications and repurposing to identifying of newer targeting of to slightly modifications of the existing drug also, development of novel screening methods to identifying of correct of these drugs, identification of new diagnostic test. This is also a combat of the prescribing of overload and improper medications. This is another importance part of the to play by the researchers. Another is development of the molecular techniques for identification of resistance of gene. This is the diagnostic modernizations, and they all concerns 5 steps. They are combinedly definitely minimizing of antibiotic resistance. Another consequence in combat and minimize of resistance to utilizations of probiotic. Previously, we have to seen on the previous slide in gut biota they have to modify it and they have to changes of the various resistance mechanism. In combinations we have to utilize of probiotic drugs. Probiotic they have to stimulate of growth of good bacteria, productions of secondary of metabolism also they have to limiting also, fermentations of probiotic to prebiotic they have to help and in respect of reduce of pH of colon, and productions of antimicrobials, inhibitions of colonizations of pathogens, abundance of beneficial bacteria, improvement of epithelial bacterial functions, immunomodulations of the host also. They have to increasing of immunity boost up also, and neutralization of toxins also. This is the combinations and approach of to prevent of the resistance by the inhibitions of pathogens, reductions of use of antibiotic, and reduce of antibiotic selections and pressure, uh, and mitigations of antimicrobial resistance. This is also to lead a minimum utilizations of antibiotic. We have to uh, always and prolongly they have to follow up of these medications as a probiotic to minimize of the chances of the conditioning of the illness also. Another consequence to mitigate and how to achieve of resistance, another companies some in recent found also companies that have to offer antibiotic free. This is the uh, food chains and companies also like McDonald's, Subway. This is also to uh, sign of this MOU, and they have to promise that they have to minimize of use or free of the antibiotic in respect of the food preservations and processing of food. This is also important of respect of to mitigate of the antibiotic resistance. Another is antibiotic stewardships. This is also based on education system to improve in respect of implementation of antibiotic for the programs, healthcare settings to ensure of responsibility antibiotic use, promote the appropriate and prescriptions of administration of antibiotic and consideration of factors like infection type, patient history, local resistance pattern also, monitor and track of antibiotic uses and identifications area of the improvements. This is also based on the education system. They have to improve of diagnostic, improve of prescription also. Another is awareness to respect of both healthcare professions, general public about the importance of the antibiotic, that consequence of misuse also, promote awareness of antibiotic resistance through the public health campaigning also. Another, encourage patient to take questions about antibiotic prescriptions and complete the full course of antibiotic prescribed. This is the and force to the who have take medications to take a fully responsibility for that have to care in government of India in overcome of the multi-drug resistant tuberculosis. They have to initiate of this conditions, and they have to take a charge of the concerned physicians. This is responsibility to overcome of the this resistance by the proper medication. They have to complete making a concern about of the patient's history and to have uh, reported that have to overcome of this infection also. They have not relapse of these conditions. Another is surveillance of data collections. Establish of robust and surveillance systems to monitor of antibiotic resistance and trends to the pattern also, and share the data informations on resistance to profiling of resistance, national of international level to facilitating of coordinations and response also. Rapid diagnostic, this is also previously we have to study also. Rapid diagnostic that have to helpful to write prescriptions and write utilizations of medications and which type of medication we have to require and the basis of uh, diagnostic we have to choose also. Infection control measures to improve of infections, prevention of control, and precise of healthcare facilities, reduce the spread of resistant pathogens. This is also to overcome of spreading of to maintain of isolations and managing of proper hand hygienes, isolations protocols, environmental cleaning procedures. This is also education based system also. Another is development of new antibiotics. This is another approach to by the conveyed by the researcher also to provide the financial and incentives to regulatory support of by the government of India and government policies also to encourage pharmacists to companies to pursue antibiotic research. And another is combinations of therapy, exploring of combinations therapy using two or more antibiotics. This is the another approach. And to multiple resistance, multiple angle, they have to combinations to consider of combinations of antibiotic, non-antibiotic, adjuvant, enhance of treatment of ineffectiveness also. Another phase therapy investigate the use of bacteriophage virus that infect of bacteria to target and killing of antibiotic. This is the newer concept, but currently they have to not any compound we have to observe that to utilize of this concern. But this is the newer concept to develop of phase libraries to providing of diverse range of phase for the therapy. Alternative treatments, we have to go to alternative another of antimicrobial like peptides, probiotic utilizations, antibiotic, and complement of replace of antibiotics. On the One Health approaches to implemented or One Health approaches to consider of human health, animal health, and the environment to address of interconnected to antibiotic systems, which we have to this principle incorporated not only to learn about or think about to human beings is only have to healthy. We have to approach about human, animal, and environmental system. All three things are compared to healthy. Then already all three system incorporated to each others, and human beings also have to healthy also. And regulatory changes, another is antibiotic stewardship in components also to enforce of regulations and retrieving of the over the counter access to antibiotic. And this is only have to prescribe on the basis of the prescriptions and ensuring that the antibiotic is only available on prescriptions, and establish of regulations for the responsible disposal and antibiotic or pharmaceutical manufacturing based also. This is a very important concern about to regulatory changes about utilizations about the dispose of the medications. Global collaborations to international levels addressing of antibiotic resistance as a global health issues also, share best practices, researches, findings, and resources to combat or resistance on global scale. This is the another utilizations, another of to exchanging of knowledge. When another of approach of treatment of they have to share of another regions of worldwide. This is the another global collaborations impact also. Public policies and funding also, advocating for the government and policies to funding and support of research, surveillance, and the control efforts of related to the antibiotic resistance. Promote the research and innovations to found new antibiotics, and they have to overcome of this problem also. Antibiotic awareness and state need to be do more to the dispose of unused medications. This is the consequence about to strategic like antibiotic utilizations and safe disposal under the drugs. The safe disposal that have to following or to under the essential to prevent of environmental contaminations and potential harm to individuals. And here some of guidelines to the dispose of the uh, unused of the drug and safety also. This is also concern about the unsafe of medications dispose of. They have to come to the river also and they have to impaired of ecosystems and revert back to the human food chain also. Follow medications of instructions, allow medications to utilize or dispose of, safe disposal of unused drugs. In government of Kerala has initiated of pilot programs, that is the proud, for use of disposal of unused drug medications. This is initiative, and also to promote of this concept also, healthcare systems, all of medicine distribution center also, they have to kept of to collect of unused medications or expired medications also. This is very effective manners we have to utilizations of, and to overcome of resistance of medications. Safe dispose use to follow up medications of instructions. Uh, Already have to incorporated of the use of medications and how to dispose of. This is need to the each and every information of bullet also, which medications are dispose of which types, and always follow the dispose of instructions provided with the medication. Some medications come with the specific disposal of recommendations, such as the returning them to the pharmacy and flushing them down to the toilets for the safety reason also. Another is return to the pharmacy to take back up of programs. This is another effective to to mitigate of these combat of these problems. Many pharmacists and healthcare facility have drugs take back up of programs and check with the your local pharmacy of healthcare provide to the see if they acceptable of unused medication for the safe disposal. National or local drugs take back of events or organize of periodically to, and many of community and participant in these events to safety dispose of medication. This is also need to take back programs and how to dispose of. This is also need. Avoid of flushing of certain of medications. All medications not to have to recommendations by the flushings. Some medication of especially of control of substances, certain of potentials of drugs may specific or dispose of instructions, recommendation of flushing to toilets only flush, and medications when the labels expected of state of governments recommendation of disposal methods. Community disposal programs. Some community have special of hazardous based collection site or events where have to use of safe dispose of used of experimentation and expiries of medications. Read labels and instructions. Always read the medications labels and accompany with the infections for any specific of dispose of instructions. And consult of pharmacist healthcare providers. If you answer about the safe dispose of specific medication, consult your pharmacist or healthcare provider for the guidance how to manage of these medications in a safe manner. Do not flushing medications, and this is also harmful to the environmental system. Instead of take advantages of the drug take back programs, this is also another conditions. Some safe disposals and some tips also are provided to how to dispose of the safe manners also. Another important points, role of pharmacist and combat of antibiotic resistance, how to improve of this medication system and how to decreasing of resistance. What is the role of pharmacist? Pharmacists play a crucial role in combating of antibiotic resistance and ensuring the possibility use of antibiotic. Here are the some highlighting roles, like medication and dispensing and education also. This is the very important, and pharmacist is a very important persons in a healthcare systems. That is the pharmacist often to last healthcare professional to interact with the patients, and before they receiving of their antibiotic, they can provide essential educations patient about the proper of antibiotic utilization, emphasizing of importance of the completing the full course of prescribe and not sharing the antibiotic with other also. This is role of pharmacist in concern of the educations. Medications review. Pharmacist can review patients medication history of patients, identify potential issues with the antibiotic use such as allergies, drug interactions, previous adverse reactions. This is helpful to ensuring that the prescribed antibiotic as a safe and appropriate for the patients. Another is antibiotic stewardships. This is based on the pharmacist to integral members of antibiotic stewardships that have to healthcare settings and collaborate with the physicians and other healthcare providers to monitoring of optimizations antibiotic use, helping to reduce overscribings, incorrect dose, and unnecessary of antibiotic treatment also. This is the stewardships also provided by the healthcare professions like a pharmacist. Patient counselings. Pharmacists can consultate and counsel to the patients about the importance of adhering up to their antibiotic regimens, potential side effect, and what do in case of adverse reactions also. In generally, patients have got some any type of adverse reactions, they have to stop to take a medication. This is also major regions to have to come multi-drug resistance region also, and this have to guidance ensuring the patient take the antibiotic correctly and are aware of any warning of sign also. Recommendation of over the counter alternative. In some cases, a pharmacist can suggest over-the-counter OTC drugs in alternative of the utilizations of the medications in respect of infections and alternative non-antibiotic treatments for the minor infections. This is minimizing of unnecessary antibiotic use of conditions and don't require of them also. Another is monitoring and reporting of adverse reactions by the pharmacists and train of recognitions of menace and adverse reactions. They can play a key role in the identifying an adverse effect of and possible with the antibiotic resistance. Promote of antibiotic awareness that up to pharmacists can particularly in public health and campaigning of communities and outreach of programs to raise awareness about the antibiotic resistance and the responsibility use of antibiotic. This is the outreach programs in remote area, and pharmacists can aware of right utilizations and minimum utilizations of the antibiotics in the personal medications and about also. Advocating of the policy changes, pharmacists also play a role to organizing and associations can advocate for policy changing related to the antibiotic use and resistance. They can work with the policymaker to strengthen of regulations, guidelines, and surrounding of antibiotic dispensing also. Research and innovations. This is also part of the pharmacist major roles as a pharmacologist, as a dispenser also, as a researcher also. Some pharmacists engage in research, develop of new antibiotics and alternative therapies and strategy to combat of antibiotic resistance. And another collaborations in field of various allied of sciences. Pharmacists often collaborated with other healthcare professions including of physicians, nurses, infections control of specialists to implement an effective antibiotic and stewardship programs also. They have to overcome of the resistance of the medication. This is the emerging and crucial roles, important roles of pharmacists, how to combat of antibiotic resistance. In summary, antibiotic resistance is a multifaceted of challenges that require of coordinated efforts at the local, national, of international levels By implementing these strategy and promoting of the responsible antibiotic use, we can combat of antibiotic resistance and safeguard of public health care also. Thank you very much, sir.
Hello.
Ajit sir.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for giving such a nice information related to antibiotic resistance and the various field where we have to consider it. So, sir, if we receive any query, then we will contact to you.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much, sir,
Thank you. Thank
for
you very much, sir.
giving me precious time, your precious time, because we already waiting from, I think, from 1.5 months.
Yes,
But
yes.
after that, we get this opportunity to listen you. So thank you very much, sir. We already recorded this lecture also, so we will upload on YouTube. So it will be available on YouTube also.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
thank you very much.